What's up, family? It's your man, Mark Black. So, I wanted to talk a little bit with y'all about the interview that Trevor Noah did with Tommy Lauren. And I am going to use the term interview because, unlike that bullshit with Roland Martin, this was actually how an interview is done. Trevor Noah was masterful at drawing this crazy ass pale bitch out and getting her to trip up over her own logic. And even though she didn't see it, that's not the point of interviewing or even talking to or debating with these pale people, these pale ass racist whiteists, right? That's not the point. He was able to draw her out so we could see the mind behind the ideas, behind the bullshit that she spouts out on her Blaze show on YouTube and on Facebook and all of this other stuff. It was a masterful interview. First of all, I want to kind of give a little bit of a counterpoint because, like I said, I believe that Trevor Noah did this interview how Roland Martin should have done that Richard Spencer asshole. This interview, he asked the questions and he let her speak. And then, using her own logic, using her own bullshit, flipped the script on her completely. It was masterful. And if you haven't seen the interview, I'm actually going to post a link to the interview in the description box below. And I want you to check it out, the full 26 minutes of it. I have to give him his props because I'll be honest with you, I'm not certain I would have been able to exercise the level of patience and just lack of throwing shade that he did. Because there was some shit that she said all throughout the interview that if you were so inclined, would have started a fight. And that's the thing. Roland Martin had this guy on his show, this Richard Spencer guy, because he was looking to fight with him. But Trevor Noah wanted us to understand Tommy Lauren, right? Not that most of you who listen to my videos will even need an explanation of who and what this bitch really is, what she stands for, who supports her, what she's doing, why she's doing it, who she's doing it for, and so on. You won't need that. But for the vast majority of the rest of us who are still comfortably asleep, right? These are the types of interviews we need to be seeing. I remember specifically when I watched the interview, there was this one portion where she talked about how she started going in on Black Lives Matter, the movement. Now, regardless of what you individually feel about Black Lives Matter or whatever the case may be about the movement, whether you think that it's a legitimate movement or they're funded by George Soros and, are basically black agents provocateur in our community to try to get us to do shit we ain't supposed to do. Whatever your opinion is on Black Lives Matter, I don't care. But what he was able to do was to draw her out and using her own logic be able to dismantle all the bullshit stances on the KKK, on the alt-right, and all this other stuff. It was just amazing. It was a masterwork. And for such a young man to be doing this gives me some degree of hope because if he stays doing what he's doing, he's only going to get better at it. He's only going to get better at actually interviewing and providing us with useful intelligence, useful, actionable information that we can start to combat these whiteists with. There was another part where she was talking about, he asked her, like, who is it? He said, you have this forum, this platform. And he asked her, he said, who is it? Now you're a voice. He said, you obviously have a voice. Who is it that you're speaking for? And then she started this thing about, the forgotten pale people in the middle states between the coasts and all this other shit. And it was just amazing because you really got to get a bird's eye view into the mind of this whitest bitch and really start to see what it is she thinks, why it is she thinks what she thinks, and so on and so forth. These are things that we as a people need to understand. We need to know these things. And it was absolutely ridiculous because here she is trying to claim that she is speaking the words that these people won't say, right? That they're afraid to speak up, right? Well, then Trevor Noah was able to take that information that she provided him. She said this out of her mouth, so there was no way for her to refute what he had to say next, and then turn right around and say, well, now wait a minute. If you look at the actions of a lot of these people since the election of Donald Trump, these actions haven't been actions of fear. They've been attacking people. He didn't come out and just, patently say that, and I wish he had. But he said basically they're not acting fearful. So again, who is it that you claiming to speak for? I mean, he kept turning her bullshit logic in on herself and using her own words to essentially debate her damn self, right? To refute her own shit. That is masterful. If you can interview one of these bastards and use their bullshit to hang them with, that, in my opinion, is excellent. There wasn't a lot of one-liners, one-liners or zingers or gotcha moments, right, that he was trying to throw out there. It was just phenomenal. One last thing that I wanted to mention about the interview, because again, I'm going to sit here and say that I was a fan of the whole damned interview, but it was the part where they were talking about how black people are supposed to protest injustices and things that we perceive as problems here in the country. He basically said, okay, you don't like the fact that Colin Kaepernick took a knee. You don't like the fact that people go out on the streets and protest. So, what then is the right way to protest? I mean, you could hear crickets from this bitch at that point. She had no fucking way to refute anything that he was saying. Because the fact is that if she had came out and told the actual truth, the only form of protest they want to see from us is us sitting in our house on the couch crying to each other and wonder why these white people treating us so bad, bruh. Nah, you see what I'm saying? So he hung her with her own shit. Masterful interview. My man, Tarian, he did a really good video on this one. I'm certain you guys will see a lot of different videos go on, about this discussion. Tarian Rain, he did one. I believe Cynthia G, I think, has done one. So you're gonna see these all over YouTube, and I'm not gonna go in like that because I think I've watched Tarian's video and I thought he did really well in discussing how Trevor Noah checked this motherfucker. I just wanted to pop up something real quick to show you guys the juxtaposition, right? The dichotomy, right, between an interview done by somebody who actually gives a damn about black people and our issues, and somebody who's just up there to be seen, to be heard. Roland, Mr. Boulay himself, Martin, had an opportunity to draw this pale man out and actually get information about who he's aligned with, who's talking to whom, who's affiliated with whom. And if you watch the interview with Tommy Lauren and Trevor Noah, you'll see that he gets her talking about different individuals, different groups, different people, different things that they've done, different stances she's taken, different positions she's seen or that she supports, and so on and so forth. This is information that we can use, family. And I wanted you guys to have an opportunity to really start looking at this shit in the media. And you can see really quickly who amongst us who have black faces in the media, but who don't give a shit about black issues, who don't want to discuss the reality of black issues, who aren't willing to combat in the media these whiteists and their talking points, and who is. So again, this is your man Mark Black. Share this video. Please make sure to check out Tarian Rain's video on his channel. I might even post a link to his video in the description box. As a matter of fact, I think I will, because it was a great video, and there'll be others. But observe, family, observe, pay attention, right? This is how we need to be coming at these motherfuckers in every area of people activity, turning their bullshit in on themselves and educating our brothers and sisters and our family at the same time. Again, until the next time, love, peace, prosperity, and power, real power to my people.